Hey guys, my name is Shay, and I am your new Wednesday kid. About myself, I am 26. I used to be in the military, but I'm a senior in college now, and I'm studying art, so most of the time I'm probably going to be covered, like, head to toe and stuff. I like sculpture, and I really like to paint, too. It's pretty fun. My boyfriend Gavin is a nurse. He's 32, and we've been together 2 years since October. And he will have been on T for 2 years in December, I think. So this week we're talking about gender roles. I'm pretty butch, and so when we first got together, it was a little bit of a challenge for me because I felt really bad because I was convinced that Gavin wasn't passing because he was with me and I looked like a dyke. And so, therefore, I felt bad about it, you know, like, what kind of partner am I being if I'm not doing everything possible to make him look like a dude? So I was putting myself into tight-fitting clothes, or fitted jeans, or crazy boots, and I was kind of miserable. And eventually I just, you know, he loved me the way I am, so I had to accept that, and be who I am, and that, you know, because that's who I was when I came into the relationship, and that's who he loved, and etc., etc. So pretty much I couldn't live my life by the way that other people were expecting me to be, and if they saw him as less than manly because he was walking with me, he was okay with it because he loved me. So that was a lesson that I had to learn, and it was challenging. But I think for the most part, gender roles are made for audiences. You know, it's not something that you have to deal with by yourselves. Like, we like to tell people that our house is gender neutral, and if you're in our house when we say that, most of the time people look around and be like, oh, yeah, it is kind of gender neutral. When really what we meant was that we don't play roles. You know, I don't wash the dishes because I'm the female one, and he doesn't mow the yard because he's the dude. Like, we swap around chores. You know, the person that's here the most does a lot of those chores. We don't really do boy/girl things, and then a lot of times people think that gender roles are applicable in the bedroom. Well, not to be stereotypical, but I mean, I'm butch, and I am also a top, and Gavin's a top too. So when we got together, it wasn't that he's a dude and he gets to be on top. It was we were two tops figuring out how the fuck you're supposed to make that work, and, you know, something we evolved in our own relationship with each other. Hopefully he doesn't mind me saying that quite so bluntly. Now, something that I think is really interesting about my Gavin is that the longer he's been on T, the more comfortable he is with himself. And I hear that a lot about a lot of different guys. Now, what's so wonderful about Gavin is that for him, that means that his self-expression has gotten more effeminate. So, on the range from, you know, burly, like, cowboy covered in mud type dudes to your effeminate, prissy, beautiful gay men, Gavin's kind of on this side. And I really enjoy it. I get a big kick out of it. We make jokes about how I'm actually his dyke tyke, and I look like a fag hag, and, you know, when we go out together and stuff. Sorry if that's offensive to anybody. And he makes jokes about, you know, me being big and butch and protecting him, and I get a kick out of it. And it's funny because I've always dated butch people. So for me to date a guy and then for that guy to be the most effeminate person I've ever been with is kind of a pretty big mindfuck for me, but, you know, it works in our relationship, and I love it, and I love him. Yeah, I don't know, what we've learned is that traditional gender roles are uncomfortable. They're very uncomfortable for me, and they're pretty uncomfortable for him because we're not traditional people. You know, I was never made, I would have, God, if I was born in the 50s, I would have been screwed. I would have been a terrible housewife. And poor Gavin doesn't like to wear boots and be covered in mud, and, you know, he'd rather match his stuff, and I can't even tell you designer names that boys would wear, but that's Gavin. That's my baby. Alright, so, one of the things we do is, alright, so there's the stereotype that if you're trans, you're supposed to be big and burly, right? And since Gavin is not, we started a Facebook group for trans guys like that, and conversely for trans women who are not extremely effeminate, because there's kind of a stereotype for them too that, you know, if you're a trans woman, then you're supposed to be super Barbie doll and makeup-y, and a lot of them aren't, and that's cool because everybody's different. So we've started this Facebook group for people that fit those categories and for the people that love them and support them. And I'm going to post a link to the bottom of this when I figure out how. I don't have a personal YouTube channel because I'm not a YouTuber, but Gavin does have one, and I'll post a link to that bottom too. But anyways, I'm happy to be your Wednesday face, and my name is Shay. My boyfriend's name is Gavin. If you have questions, feel free to ask, and I'm probably going to be stalking the YouTube to see if people watch this and, like, get a kick out of ratings and stuff, so if you want to leave me a comment, that'd be really exciting. Have a good week. Leave questions if you got them. I will be chatting. Talk to you later. Bye.